G'day, legend. I just wanted to say that I'm coming to you from Ngunnawal country and wanted to pay my respects to the traditional owners of this beautiful land, Ngunnawal country in Canberra. Whereabouts are you today, Josh?
I'm in Sydney, so that is Gadigal land.
Nice. But you're going to be here on Ngunnawal country in 34 sleeps.
Yes, we're very excited. I'm bringing the whole family along. Going to have a full folk festival weekend, family fun folk festival.
Yay! It's perfect for kids, super safe. And actually this year, I mean, you would have got tickets anyway, but all kids under 12 are free, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Make it really we have a super affordable price point anyway, but because the theme of the festival is all about family, I was like, well, it'd be good to make it super accessible for families with lots of kids because it adds up as you add each kid to the bill.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yay. How old are your kids now?
11 and 8.
Oh, perfect age. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so you have a new album. Tell us about the record quickly.
So it's out on the 18th of March. I'm not sure when you're publishing this, but that's a week from today.
Yeah.
It's called To Find Happiness.
Yeah.
And I think I'm pretty sure it's my 7th album. And I love it. I think it's my best work, but we always think that.
Yeah.
But I love it. I recorded it here in my studio. This studio is a bit out of shape because it got flooded a couple of weeks ago, but and then I mixed it in Byron Bay, which is obviously also, it was a year, pretty much a year to date. So I was in Byron last March. So it's horrible to see what's happening up there now.
Crazy.
But I've mixed the record up there, and it's all it's all good. Really like it.
You had at Bernard's place, Bernard and Nick Dadia's place?
No, it was at the music farm.
Awesome.
Up in the hills. So it was a great experience. Again, took the family up and spent 2 weeks up there mixing the record and having fun.
Yeah, awesome. I actually find the music industry, when you are your own boss, which essentially you and I are, it's actually very family friendly because you can choose to bring your kids wherever you want to bring them, really.
That's the benefit of the privilege of being self-employed as your own boss. You can make the rules. I wouldn't take them to record an album. I think that would be too disruptive. But mixing, you know what it's like. You go in there at 1 and work through to 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. But you're not on the tools all the time. You're just mostly listening. So it was actually great. And the music farm's amazing. Like the property itself is incredible for kids. It's a proper farm. There's like pigs and goats and
I've made a few records up there on that magic Bundjalung country. It's a special place. What was I going to say about kids? I remember peak parenting when I made my record with the Captains. We were up at Mangrove Mountain, just outside of Gosford, and on a day off we hired a jumping castle. So because we all got kids around they're all big now. 16.
How old are yours now?
16 and 15. So, and Dexter's the new drummer in my band.
Yes, I saw that on the old socials. That's awesome.
Oh, he's a monster. He's obsessed with, he's a teenage boy, so he's obsessed with sort of animals as leaders and Meshuggah.
Wow, Meshuggah.
Meshuggah. Checked out Tool and all that sort of, stuff where the drumming is complicated.
So he's good on the double kick.
I finally relented and we bought him a double kick for Christmas and he was like, yes. But actually he doesn't use it that much. We sort of said, they're a great tool, but you have to be able to make any piece. Like I remember Evan Manel, who you would know. I was like, what's your favorite kit? And he's like, the kit that's there. That I didn't have to plug in, you can make any kit sound great. So, So Josh Pyke, what does the word folk mean to you?
I think for me, it means community. I think that's like very, very much what it means. Folk, folk is such a good term to describe people that cuts across, gender and
all the things.
Everything, like it's a very all encompassing, friendly word. And for me, yeah, folk means community. So I love the idea that at the folk festival this year, you know, some of my dear friends will be playing there as well. Jack Carty's going to be playing. All Our Exes are going to be playing. You know, Justine Clark's going to be up there. And for me, that sort of community and bringing together of not only the audience, you know, interacting with each other, but bringing musicians together that's what it's all about for me. And I think that's really reflected in, you know, traditional folk music as well as sort of what we call as, you know, describe as folk these days, which is kind of anybody with an acoustic guitar is a bit folksy, I guess. But yeah.
Folk's a broad church and all are welcome.
I think that word folk really, you know, that really describes that idea of the broad church and everybody being welcome.
Yeah. And, you know, the Australia of today we are a beautiful multicultural experiment. Thankfully, so interesting, the festival, we started in 1967. So we're 55 years old. And of course, 67 was the year that Australia unanimously voted to include our First Nations family and friends into the right to vote, which is wild when you think about it, that's only 50 years ago, or 55 years ago. But also, of course, in the last sort of 3 to 4 decades, we've had an amazingly beautiful influx of a lot of our Asian families around us, around our location, coming to live here. And I think the last time I checked, about 35% of Australians currently in the last census were not born here. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, my wife was born in Vietnam. My kids are half Vietnamese, and certainly, you know, my kids' school is incredibly diverse. We do live in a pretty rarefied, you know, inner west community, I guess. But I mean, funnily enough, I've got a book coming out in because I write kids' books as well. I've got a kids' book coming out. Well, it's out already, but it's the National Simultaneous Storytime book this year, and the theme is diversity. And the book is called Family Tree, and it's very much about that idea of the roots, you know, the roots of a family tree being all the stronger for the diversity that it sort of draws from. So yeah, I mean, I totally wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of us, I think the previous definition of folk was probably more of an Anglo-Celtic, you know, traditional thing, which of course is a part of the folk world of Australia today. But I guess part of my dreaming of the festival was to broaden that idea, and we've got a lot of, I mean, even at our launch on, when was it? Wednesday night, we had Kim Yang, who's a Taiwanese Australian artist. Have you checked her out, by the way? She's amazing.
Yeah, I think we played a show together in Canberra. Yeah, we did.
That's probably, yeah, she's playing a support spot for me next weekend. She's amazing. And we had Borneo, well, he lives in Queanbeyan, but his heritage is from Borneo and Ireland. And, Muslim, amazing spoken word poet, Omar Musa. And then we had Alinta Barlow, who's a Ngunnawal artist, playing with Will Kepper, who's a Torres Strait fella. So it was like, that's folk to me. That's
folk, isn't it? Like in the true sense of just the word of folk being people, you know, of all descriptions. Yeah, I think that's great.
And we're, the Houtmans, Zoe, Ben, and James Houtman. So they're our in-house family band. They're playing They're playing with everyone from Martha Marlowe to Bandaluzia Flamenco, Bandaluzia Flamenco, amazing, you know, real deal flamenco stuff. King Curly, Bill Chambers, Justine Clark playing with me. We're doing Songs of Dawn. Somehow in the middle, Zoe gets to Blues Fest and plays with Missy and Mossy as well. And then, but they're, speaking of folk, you know, they're Canberra born and bred, and their grandfather, Bert, is 100 around the time of our festival.
Oh, wow.
And one of our sponsors, well, our major booze sponsor, Bent Spoke, who make great beers, making a centenary cider in honour of Bert.
Wow.
And they're also making a brew for the festival called Bent Folk.
That's good.
Which I'm looking forward to drinking, which will be fun. So I don't know if you've sort of checked it out, but the idea that I would love to invite certain artists to do, so basically the theme is find your family, find your home, find your folk. And when I was thinking about home, which is where we've spent a hell of a lot of time the last 2 years, I couldn't sort of go past Warumpi Band's My Island Home. So that song is going to open and close the festival. Alinta, an emerging Ngunnawal artist, is going to sing it in language at the opening concert, which is headlined by Uncle Archie. And we'll have a choir of about 300 singing that song, but singing it in the language of the country that we live on. So there is that video and the lyrics in a little pack, and I'm inviting artists to try to include that in their set if they want to.
Cool.
And sing in language so that you can sing in the language of the country that you're playing on over the festival.
That'll be a huge wake-up call to lots of people who don't realise that for a lot of First Nations people, English is their like fifth or sixth language, you know, and they speak it, you know, fluently, and then also speak, you know, 5 or 6 First Nations languages. Yeah, my experience with that has always been I'm terrible at languages. I speak English. That's it. I've tried to speak other languages. I can't. I'm awful at it. You know.
Does your wife speak Vietnamese?
She would say that she only speaks like sort of family Vietnamese. But I mean, to me, it sounds like she's speaking fluent Vietnamese. But you know, yeah, she would probably argue otherwise.
Are the kids bilingual, or are they?
No, they're not. No, they're not. It's yeah, I would love them to be. They maybe in the future. It's a tough one with all the other things that you know you do as like they play piano and drums and stuff, and
cool.
Obviously music is a language, but not any other spoken languages.
Well, we've got Ani Jubalo, who's an elder here. She is the most beautiful, warm, welcoming woman. And like you and I, we are, I'm presuming, you know, our connection to language has been through music. And we've both been lucky enough to work in community and hang out and hear these languages. And I'm very passionate about normalising language. So we have a new stage, which is the Narragunawali stage, which you'll be playing, which is a Ngunnawal word meaning sort of coming together and feeling good. And I was like, that's a good name for a stage. But yeah, so I just wanted to gently set the challenge that the video is on YouTube with the lyrics. And I've sung in quite a few languages. Ngunnawal is not as hard as some others. So if you can give it a go, that would be amazing.
All right.
Great. The main thing is just sort of, you know, giving it a go. Maybe I'll challenge Jack to do it with you.
Yeah, maybe we can do it together. That'd be nice.
It's only one verse and one chorus in language. The rest of it's in English. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, but so I'm pretty excited about seeing lots of different bands like klezmer gypsy bands playing My Island Home in language. Maybe Josh Pyke and Jack Carty, you know, I'll have a go at it. Kate Sobrano, Emma Donovan, you know, all these different artists doing it in their own ways. I think that'll be really special. Yeah, well, basically, we can't wait to have you.
I'm really excited. What's that?
I'm so glad you're bringing the kids.
Yeah, we'll be there for the whole weekend, so we're making it a family event.
Right.
So yeah, we're stoked. It's a great opportunity to get up there and actually check out the festival and also be playing at it.
Yeah, so all my kids will be there too. Well, all my kids, my 2 kids will be there. Justine's bringing her kids too.
Oh, cool.
She was sort of TBC, but I think she saw the lineup and was like, that'll be fun. So we haven't seen her kids since Barunga when we were up there in NT a few years back. And her boy, her beautiful, I think it's her eldest boy, and Dexter got on really well. So
well, my kids get along great with Max, the youngest.
No, it's Max. Max, that's the fella that Dexter.
Oh right, the little one.
Dance with, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I don't know. I think he must be 12 or 13 now.
He was a little bit younger, but not a lot younger. Yeah. And so, what are your hot picks for other artists that you'll be checking out at the festival? You've sort of already covered this, but
yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, I went to the Garma Festival years ago with Emma Donovan, and I haven't seen her since. So I'd love to check out her. And then yeah, just like catching up with Jack and all our exes. I haven't seen all our exes for ages and ages, and we're huge fans. So yeah, we'll be checking them out.
Yeah.
Bells on.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Legend. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
And can't wait to see you in 34 sleeps. Oh my God.
I'm even more excited than I was before now.
Yay! All right. Be well, brother.
See ya.
Take care. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.